What is up, guys? AJ's Builds. I'm finally back. It's been a really long time and I just finally had to get back to doing some videos again. I've been super busy lately. I've been trying to get the garage redone with some new lighting. I've been doing a bunch of other jobs on my M3 and finally started to settle down a little bit where I got some time to shoot some video while I'm doing some work. So today what I'm going to be working on my next couple of videos is showing a F250 truck bed restoration. I'm doing the bed rails, and I'm also going to be doing the bed sides. Right now I'm starting with the bed rails. I'm going to show you guys some tips on how to do it and how I usually restore these. And I also got something cool to show you a little bit later, a little sneak peek on some parts that I ordered for the E36 M3 that you're probably going to want to see and you're going to want to stay tuned for and watch the build on. So let's get started with this and I'll show you guys what I do. Alright, so what I'm going to be working on is drilling out the spot welds. The spot welds, you're going to see a little indentation, maybe like a 1/4 inch imprint. And that is where, from the factory, they use a spot welder and they spot weld the bed rails to the frame. And well, in this case, to the floor. So I'm going to show you guys how to get these bed rails off. And what you're going to want to use is an 1/8 inch bit, and you need to find your center hole or your center mark of these spot welds. So I see one right here, and let me just come around. Alright, and you're going to drill it first in the center with an 1/8 inch bit. Probably helps if it's plugged in. Alright, so you're going to use your 1/8 inch bit, you're going to drill that spot weld. And I got a few of them, but I'm just going to show you with a couple here. There's another one here. Or you could just break the bit. I gotta get some other bits tomorrow at the shop. These are way too long, so they kind of wobble around and break on me. So I'm gonna get some new ones tomorrow. So it's going to take some time and some patience, but this is the way you're going to want to go about it. Then I use a step bit. If you want, you could use a 1/4 inch bit, but I usually use a step bit. And you're going to hog that hole out till you get through the spot weld. This a little bit in the way here. As you can see, this thing is really bad. Alright, that one's through. And the other one I just drilled, I'm going to pop through as well. Alright, so now I'm going to show you. You can use a chisel, I just have a flathead. And you're going to slide it under and tap it until you pop that weld. In this one I might have to go a little more. Yep. Like that. This one probably. The reason I use a step bit is because sometimes you have to go a little bit further to get it to pop. So there we go, it just popped. So I'll zoom the camera in a second and show you that. I'm going to do the same thing to this one. Step to the side, tap it, and just like that, pop it through. So let me pull the camera off the mount here and show you. So I have a lot to do. There's about 28 spot welds per bed rail. So I have to do this one in the front, which is spot welded all along this lip. Spot welded here on the sides. I'm going to show you guys here to get the camera to focus. So you can see this indent here. This is what those spot welds are going to look like. You drill through the center, you open them up with a step bit, you come through with a chisel. I use a flathead, and as soon as you tap in, put a little bit of stress on it, it will release that pressure and pop it off. I'm going to zoom in here so I can show you guys. Let me come to this side on what I did. So, as you can see, get the camera to focus here. This one was drilled, and I tapped through, popped it up. So now that's clean. And I did one over here as well. So this one's through, and it's off as well. I'll show you. See, you can move it, and it's up. It's just held in by this brace still. I got to take that brace off. But I have a lot to do. I have to do the back, the two centers, and the front one. There's 5 altogether, but usually the kits you order come with the 4, which is the front, the 2 centers, the rearward one. And this rear one, you have to order separately, but this one's in pretty good shape, still pretty solid. Little bit of rust and corrosion starting on the outside of it, but it's still got some pretty thick gauge to it. I'm going to just clean that up, pour 15 it, and I'll show you that as I go. So that's enough for that for now. This is going to take me probably a few weeks to get everything done. I kind of like to take it easy, not do too much at a time. So I'll be working on that. I'll be showing you in the next videos the processes and the steps, the material that I use, on how to get this done. So that's probably enough talking about the bed for now. Stay tuned for all the steps. I'll be getting all those off. I'll be putting some time lapse in there because it's going to take a while, but I'm going to show you guys how to get them off, get the new ones prepped, get the new ones on. Then we'll flip the bed over after everything is clamped in place, and we'll weld through the top side of the bed. So enough of the bed, like I said, and I'm going to show you guys something that I'm pretty stoked about on my E36 M3, some parts that I've been accumulating, and something that's finally happening. So let me show you. Alright, so here's the table of goodies I've been collecting for a while. I've been super excited about. I've been wanting to do this since I got my E36 M3 because, of course, the US model did not come with the ITBs that the Euro model did. Are these the Euro ITBs from the E36 M3? No. But they are the S54 ITBs, and I'm using the Rapid Racing Development Kit to adapt it to my E36 M3. I am super pumped about this, and I can't wait to get this done, and I really hope that everyone else is excited as I am. So the S54 ITBs are going to be converted with the Rapid Racing Development Kit, which comes with the adapter plate, the throttle cable, and everything else that is needed to get this thing done. Because the S54 ITBs on the E46 M3, of course, run with a drive-by-wire, and this E36 M3, of course, is cable driven. So they have an adapter kit to do that. And so here's some of the parts that I've also accumulated. It's spent some time and it's spent some money, but it's going to be well worth it in the end. So I picked up the S54 ITBs. I've already cleaned them. I have a little more cleaning to do, but the butterflies were completely black and all this was all caked up. So it came with the air rail setup, and they're pretty well intact. They are fully functioning. Let me show you guys on the side here. Fully functioning. I got a little more cleaning to do, and I have a lot more parts to show you. But of course, that's the biggest part of it all, and I cannot wait to put this on. I've accumulated the fuel rail. Shout out to Castle Performance for giving me this. And on another note, Castle Performance in Pennsylvania is going to be tuning this car. So within the next couple of weeks, stay tuned for all this happening. I'm going to start the build, start doing this adapter kit, getting the itbs on, and I will be going to Pennsylvania. I'm going to trailer the M3 down. It's going to be getting chassis tuned down there, and I'm going to have all that on camera. So stay tuned for all you E36 M3 guys that are looking to do this. This will be a step-by-step guide and all the parts needed. So I was able to source a fuel rail through Castle Performance. They have them in stock. I have the elbow boot that runs off of the stock intake. A little bummed about running the stock intake for now, but there's been enough money spent here with other parts that are still on their way in the mail. The stock airbox or a CSL carbon box, anything has to be ran with the E36 M3 because I am using the stock ECU. The stock ECU, Castle is able to tune them, and he's done actually another one from the Rapid Racing Development Kit. So he has all the baseline, everything set down to get this thing tuned up and get it running right. But the reason I have to run this, because these ECUs cannot run a map. And the E46 M3, we're able to convert those ECUs and tune them to run a map conversion. But of course, I need a MAF. So because I need a MAF, I have to run the stock box, because I have to run this elbow, and I need the MAF to be... all the air that's going in through the MAF to be directed to the itbs, and I didn't want to put the MAF, in another location and not get a proper reading. So that's the reason I'm doing that. Down the road, yes, I will be upgrading this, but for now this will do. I still have to clean it, and I'm going to paint it, get it all cleaned up nice. So the elbow is something you're going to need. The intake is something you're going to need. And let me see if I can get my box here and show you that. This is usually what happens to these intake boots. And they're about 25 bucks a piece. So it adds up, with 6 of them. But Turner Motorsports is the hookup. They have the silicone boot kit. And the part number is here, 4030616. So it comes with the silicone boots to replace the OEM ones that are pretty expensive. And this kit is cheaper than buying all the OEM ones. And it comes with your set of clamps for both sides. So that will be going on after this is cleaned up. I was able to source some used S54 injectors, because you need to use the S54 injectors with the S54 fuel rail. So I got the rebuild kit for these injectors. I'll show you the kit that I got. I got GB Manufacturing. And it comes with the 2 bottom seals and the top seal. So I have that. And for fuel, you have to run the S54 fuel rail. So I'm following Castle Performance advice on all of this because, of course, he will be tuning my car. So from the tank to the fuel pressure regulator can stay. But the fuel pressure regulator housing has to be replaced with the S54 housing, because the S54 housing is a returnless system, and that's where the fuel that is not used is returned back at the proportioning valve, rather than going up to the fuel rail and then being returned from the fuel rail, because there is no return on the fuel rails. So you're going to need the S54 fuel rail, as I said, S54 injectors, S54 fuel filter, which threads into the proportioning valve, and then this will go back to the rear of the tank. And then from here to the S54 fuel rail, you're going to need that quick connect hose and all the other lines that will run up from the regulator to the fuel rail. The regulator's on the way. I purchased that. And I also ordered from BMW themselves new C-clips for the fuel rail. So the injector will go in once it seats. Then you have the C-clip, which will retain it and hold it in place. So I have a bunch of other parts coming for it. I still have my MAF coming. So with this setup, you need to run the 3.5-inch HFM MAF. I purchased that online. That's on its way. And the Rapid Racing Development Kit is coming tomorrow. So I'm probably going to start breaking this M3 down tomorrow or within the next couple of days. So stay tuned for some new videos coming up on this build. And on the side, I'll still be working on that truck too. So thanks for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. This is AJ's Builds, and I'll talk to you soon.